Welcome to this explainer on mastering the Matrigma test. Look, if you're gearing up for this assessment, you might be feeling a little, well, panicked. And honestly, fair enough. Nothing spikes the heart rate quite like staring at weird abstract psychometric puzzles when a job offer is on the line, right? But today, we're going to flip that test-taking anxiety into pure tactical mastery. By the time we finish up here, you'll know exactly how to decode whatever visual puzzles they throw your way. Here is the game plan for our training dojo today. We're going to meet the test head-on in Section 1, break down the classic versus adaptive formats in Section 2, hand you your visual weapons in Section 3, run a quick sparring session in Section 4, and finally lock in your scoring and test day strategies in Section 5. Let's get right into it. All right, Section 1. Let's strip away all the mystery and see exactly what we're up against here. So, the Matrigma test, it was developed by a Swedish psychometric publisher called Assessio, and it's a pre-employment screening tool used by companies literally all over the globe. Now, the really fascinating thing about this assessment, it requires absolutely zero math or language skills. Seriously, it is 100% nonverbal. You are relying on pure visual logic to figure out patterns you've probably never laid eyes on before. Basically, it's a measure of your general cognitive ability, how quickly you adapt, spot hidden rules, and solve completely novel problems. The setup itself is actually pretty simple. It's a 3x3 matrix of abstract shapes. You'll get 8 filled cells and exactly 1 missing piece, usually chilling right down there in the bottom right corner. Below that, you've got 5 multiple choice options, labeled A through E. Your one and only job is to deduce the underlying rule governing those shapes and figure out which of those 5 options perfectly completes the grid. No words, no numbers, just pure patterns. Moving right along to Section 2. Now that we know what the basic arena looks like, we really need to talk about the 2 vastly different formats you might encounter on test day. Okay, so you're going to face one of 2 versions. First is the classic format. This is typically used by smaller employers, and it gives you 35 questions to knock out in 40 minutes. The difficulty ramps up in a fixed, predictable order. Because of that, speed is your absolute best friend here. Knock out the easy early ones fast so you have time for the brain busters at the end. But then there's the adaptive format. This one is favored by the big consulting firms and global corporations, and it's a totally different beast. Fewer questions, shorter time limit, but the difficulty adjusts in real time. If you nail a question, boom, the next one is harder. Miss one, the next one gets easier. In this version, accuracy is everything. Missing a question actually drags down the difficulty ceiling, which basically caps your final score potential. It completely flips how you should pace yourself, which we'll map out in a bit. Let's open up your arsenal. Section 3, the 6 pattern rules. This is the secret code behind every single matrix you're going to see. I need you to burn these 6 rules into your brain, okay? This is the absolute core of the Matrigma test. Every question is built from one or a combination of these exact rules. Number 1, rotation. Shapes turning as the sequence progresses. 2, reflection. Shapes acting like they're in a mirror across a horizontal or vertical axis. 3, size progression. Shapes getting bigger or shrinking down. 4, shading or color change. The fill inside the shape swaps out across the grid. 5, addition or removal. Random elements suddenly popping in or vanishing entirely. And number 6, quantity progression. Just the sheer number of shapes going up or down. Now here is the kicker. Most questions actually combine 2 of these rules at the exact same time. If you can actively spot which of these specific rules are at play within the first 5 seconds of looking at a grid, you have practically already solved it. Section 4. Knowing those rules is great, but you need a ruthless method to actually apply them. Time for a quick sparring session. To keep yourself from getting totally overwhelmed, you've got to follow this exact 3-step method every single time a new grid pops up. Step 1, scan horizontally. Look left to right across the rows and ask, what is changing? Step 2, scan vertically. Top to bottom down the columns looking for those same shifts. Step 3, name the rule out loud in your head. Literally picture what that missing cell has to look like, and only then match it to the options. I cannot stress this enough. Looking at the multiple choice answers first is exactly how you fall for their clever little decoys. Let's try it out right now with a worked example that combines shading and quantity. Look at the top row. All the shapes in row 1 are gray, right? Now jump down to the bottom, row 3. Suddenly, the shapes are white, and you can clearly see the quantity is doubled. So ask yourself, what rule is connecting the dots as we move from top to bottom? Well, following our 3 steps, if row 1 is gray and row 3 is white and doubled, then row 2 has to be the transition point. It absolutely must contain white shapes, but in a single quantity before that doubling effect kicks in. Boom. You've just completely visualized the answer in your head without even glancing at the choices. And when you finally do look down, your deduction perfectly matches option B. You found the correct answer efficiently, and more importantly, you completely bypassed the traps meant to confuse you. Okay, sparring session number 2. Let's tackle rotation, because it is incredibly common on this test. Check out this simple arrow element. As you scan horizontally across the row, left to right, what's making it shift? It's pretty clear, right? It's turning exactly 90 degrees clockwise as it jumps from the first column over to the second. So you've nailed the rule, 90 degrees clockwise. Now bypass the middle entirely and jump straight down to the row with the missing cell, row 3. If we strictly apply that 90-degree clockwise turn to that final cell, you instantly know exactly where that arrow should be pointing. It perfectly aligns with answer D. See? Once you spot the axis and the direction of the turn, rotation questions are a total breeze. And that brings us to a massive, massive time-saving tip. Seriously, write this down. Most patterns run across rows or down columns, rarely both. The second you scan the rows and find a pattern moving horizontally, you are done. Do not waste precious seconds rechecking the vertical columns just to be safe. Finding the axes early is literally your biggest competitive advantage against the ticking clock. All right, section 5. Your visual technique is sharp, so let's talk about what victory actually looks like and lock in your final battle tactics. Let's talk scoring. The Matrigma test is normed referenced. That means your score isn't just a simple percentage like an old high school math test. It's a percentile comparing you to everyone else who took it. See that top 25% tier? That represents strong abstract reasoning. Hitting that top quarter proves to employers that you've got the elite analytical chops needed for high-level technical and leadership roles. Now, the middle 50% is considered solid, and it's totally fine for a lot of positions, but you always want to aim for that top slice, because companies set their own custom pass thresholds depending on how competitive the job is. So, let's turn all this theory into a rock-solid, actionable game plan for test day. Here are your 6 ultimate strategies. 1. Memorize those 6 rules we talked about so you can spot them in your sleep. 2. Eliminate wrong answers aggressively. Ruling out 5 terrible options is often way faster than trying to perfectly prove the correct one. 3. Find the axis fast. Check the rows first, then the columns. 4. If you are taking the classic format, watch your pace. If you're stuck for more than 30 seconds, take an educated guess and keep moving. 5. But if you're taking the adaptive format, hit the brakes. Accuracy is king, and nailing those harder questions is what rockets your score up. And 6, never, and I mean absolutely never, practice without a timer. Look, knowing all this theory is fantastic, but execution is what actually gets you the job offer. You can put these exact methods to the test over at aptitudeace.com. They've got 3 full-length, timed mock tests that beautifully mirror real exam conditions. Best of all, they break down the detailed explanations for every single question. So you don't just learn what the right answer is, you learn exactly why a specific visual rule works the way it does. And just like that, we've reached the end of our explainer. You now know the hidden mechanics of the grid, you've got the 6 unbreakable visual rules in your back pocket, and you know the 3-step solving method to crush them. But remember, casual, untimed practice is a massive trap. So I'll leave you with this final thought. Now that you know exactly how the Matrigma test operates, are you going to test these new skills under the real, unforgiving pressure of a ticking clock, or are you just going to settle for false confidence? The choice and your future score is entirely up to you. Thanks so much for hanging out with me, and hey, good luck out there.